Hello, yellow. Happy Thursday. Sorry, I'm choking over here. Welcome back. Yes, we are starting Thursday, May 28th of 2026 with Steve Shirilla. I have no words. I didn't watch this in its entirety. I was like, absolutely not. I need emotional support. We need to talk about this. Steve Shirilla did an interview with True Crime Weekly, I believe. Is it True Crime Weekly? Yes. And he basically just goes over a bunch of stuff in the documentary, and he doesn't make himself look very good. I thought we were going to stay off the internet for a minute, or like hire a PR person. I'm a little confused. I don't think this makes him look any better. I don't understand what is going on. But welcome back. Hello, I am Melly. Shout out to you guys for watching the live chat. Shout out to the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I took a day off yesterday, but don't worry, I'll be dropping a lot of clips tonight and videos, and we will be doing a text message reading. We are in April of 2021. So if you're following along, there you go. It's already out there. It's already scheduled. Let's just do a review of this interview. I will say hello to everyone, and I will drop the link down below where I got it so everyone can go and follow along. The members only was supposed to be today, but with this interview and the text message reading, I'm moving the members only to tomorrow. So I see Chuck's in here. Hello, hello. I saw Abuelita. I saw La Karma. Thank you, Expert of All, for becoming a new member. I appreciate that. I only got 20 minutes into this and I needed emotional support. There you go. Hey, hoodies. I saw Debbie in here. Good to see everyone. I hope you guys have been having a great week. I saw Tabitha. Yay. Here live for the first time. Hi, Tabitha. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I saw Nemo. Kimmy Kicks. I saw this interview. Hey, Becky. Hey, Jenny. And I was like, you know what? It's that day. It's just that kind of day. Hello, Evie. Good to see everyone. Crease, BNG. Okay, good. Lots of people here. Hello, Edith. Got Lieutenant Kenny. Good to see you. Psycho. Anyone that I missed? BNG. Bolita. The crew is all here. So let's get started. He is wearing a bright yellow or orange shirt. Let's get into this. Let's try to remain respectful as we can. I know that's hard, but we can do it. Okay, let me see. Hold, please. While I pull this up. And hey, Julian, Daisy, KCK, hello, good to see you. Thank you. Hey, Ariel, I was just watching that interview. Got me pissed. Yeah, this is not a good look. Someone please tell him that I can be his PR person. Hello, Pharma. I saw KCK. Thank you for gifting a membership. That's really generous of you. Who got it? Jillian, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Welcome to the members. That'll be nice since we're doing a members only. And I just want to state this because I've been seeing it in the comments. People are like, well, not everyone, but some people are like, why are you gonna do a members only? And you're profiting off DOMs and like case. And I'm like, dude, chill out. The only reason why it's gonna be a members only is because it involves like psychics and stuff, and not everyone's into that. And who cares? Everyone's covering it. Like, anyways, that's just part of the Kenzie supporters. This is madness. This is not a father. Disgraceful. So sad, my love, and support for the I know. From what I saw of this, it didn't make him look any better than. Listen, Steve, you lost your job. Basically, is what's going to happen. It's pending investigation. You're probably not going back. And because of what you said in the documentary. And then you go on TMZ, and again, like, I would be willing to help you if you need the help. They refuse to come on my channel, and I can understand that because they have not been my favorite. I do support the victims' families, the Russos and the Flanagans, but I would be respectful, you know, like the reason why they're going on these channels that haven't been covering the case is because and what I mean by that is covering the case in depth. There's like a handful of channels that have been on this since like 2022 or since before the documentary. AG is one of them. Shout out to AG. I heard UTS is one of them. Jumpsuit is one of them. Plunder is one of them. Phone calls is one of them. There's a few other that have been. The Killa channel is one of them. There's a whole bunch that have been covering it, but they don't go on channels that know a lot about the case. And I mean that respectfully, like where they could be questioned about stuff and who have gone through the court documents, the phone calls, the reports, the police reports, text messages. I mean, I've done it. I think I've gone almost everything, if not what I could get my hands on this case. I have over 100 lives on this. So they probably wouldn't come on my channel. But I did have Christine Russo on, and I appreciated that. And that interview is under the videos tab if you want to go check it out. Anyways, I'm done ranting over here. Let's get into this. Again, Steve, this doesn't make you look any good, respectfully. I think accountability, just take accountability. That's it. It's like, it's really not that hard. You keep going on these interviews and it keeps making you look terrible. I think even Vinny said it, and when he's like, why are they still talking like out in public? It's like, get a PR person or just take accountability and have your daughter take accountability and apologize and have her do her time, stop fighting for appeals. Like, but then again, there is a lot of stuff that has been coming out. We are going to review it on just like things from the documentary we missed with the police reports. Let me know your opinion if you think it's changed now that you're seeing more or know more. Do you still think Kenzie is guilty? Do you think maybe perhaps a lesser charge, not maybe murder, maybe like manslaughter? I'm seeing a lot of that too. So I guess I'm just curious. But anyways, back to Steve. Yeah, let's get started. I'm ranting. It's Rant Thursday. The parents are enjoying the attention. They are doing their daughter no favors. I saw Christine's and it broke my heart, the pain in her voice. Sometime and you done a fantabulous. Thank you, Kelly. 32,000 messages. The house where they were together. Yeah. Yeah. She'll know they will be questioned why it's a narrative. Yeah, like I was screaming through Natalie's interview and the one Steve has done. I'm like, wait, there's a lot missing here. You're leaving out a lot. Parents are to teach accountability. Hey, Songs by Laura. Thanks for your support. Thanks, Ozzy. Okay, good. Let's get started. Don't want to miss anyone. Shelby and Karen, thank you for becoming members. Appreciate you guys. Let me put the chat up on the screen and I'll shut the hell up and we can get started. Like I said, we are doing a text message reading after this. The Shirlers are tripping. The smartass comment says about his shirts. Yeah, Steve talks, makes him lose credibility. Taking accountability is the first start, I think. Christine and the Russos and the Flanagans, I don't know that they've reached out to the Flanagans, but Kenzie has, yet to say anything to the Russos, not even an apology. I mean, if you can't even start there, I don't know what you're doing going on platforms asking for support for your daughter. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let's get started.
What is it like to be a part of the biggest documentary on Netflix?
Wow, it's mixed. I was hoping during this process we would get Mackenzie's story out, or what happened to Mackenzie, and not necessarily what everybody's heard or what everybody keeps gleaming off of misinformation. And I want to say I was promised that it would be fair, but that's what my illusion to what was going on. That I thought they came to us thinking that my daughter is a monster and that she did this and she's hell on wheels and she picked that road and blah blah blah. What the judge said. But I think after they started talking to us, I think we opened their eyes to, well, maybe there's something funny going on here, and that's where I thought it was. And then when it came out, a lot of the stuff we talked about just wasn't there. There wasn't a lot about the fact that there's no evidence of premeditation, prior calculation or intent. it's not there. And every troll online can tell me, oh yeah, she did it, all this, and she was speeding down that road and she didn't hit her brakes. Well, she didn't hit her brakes for 4.74 seconds of that ride. That's the only information they have. 4 points. That's when the black box turned on, about 5 or 6 seconds before she crossed Almeida Road and before it went into the building. Something happened in that car that caused that black box to turn on, which was, I think the car, from our car expert that we talked to, said that the car thought it was flipping over. So the black box turned on and started recording the car information in a non-linear sort of way. And that's important, that non-linear sort of way. And it deployed both side airbags. And I'm sorry, side airbags don't just go pillow fight. It's not a soft explosion. It's a boom. And then there's powder all over there's powder floating in the car, in the cabin of the car.
Are you saying the airbags deployed before the accident?
Both side airbags deployed prior to her car crossing the street to hit the sign to get veered into the building.
That seems like a pretty big piece of information that we didn't get.
Yeah, I wonder why the prosecution didn't.
Wait, I'm confused. What does that have to do with anything? That it hit her in the face or what?
Use it.
Yeah.
They had it. They got the black box information. The black box is a nonlinear function. It's like an airplane black box, but it doesn't record sound and what's going on in the cabin. It records mechanical aspects of the car, braking, accelerating, blah, blah, that kind of stuff. So the only actual evidence, hard, knock on wood, evidence is from 4.74 seconds of that black box. Yeah. That's not talking what happened prior.
Yeah.
All the way to when she turned. That's another what? So
everything we saw in that video of her speeding at the
that last moment. Yeah. That's after the black box turned on
and after the airbags deployed.
Mm-hmm.
So it could just be 3 kids in the car freaking out because
Sasquatch could have popped in the car. Anything.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough of this. Did he just say Sasquatch? I'm trying to avoid the lies till I catch up on this, but this one's a hard one. Yeah, this isn't so aggressive. Wait, this is not funny. It's a very serious situation here. What does Sasquatch have to do with anything? So the 100 miles before this. Hey, Gamma, I don't understand. Hey, Chantel. Yes, he did. Can't we just have just this one to be haters? Yes, you can do what you want. He needs to stay off the internet. Listen, this is not a good look. So what would cause her not to be able to see essentially? I don't understand. So he's saying that now it's the airbags. First it was the pots. Then it was Dom. Then now it's Sasquatch and the airbags. Okay, well, file your appeal. They've already been denied respectfully. Just file another one. Get a different defense team. I don't fucking know. And file a new appeal and see if you get it again. And then we can go from there, I guess. I don't understand what Steve is trying to do here with the airbags. Now they were fighting and the airbags went off and they're just a bunch of teenagers in the car. Steve needs to go read the text. Like yesterday he did this interview. Yeah, does he think it's a container? A baby powder explodes? I have to think no accountability for his daughter. Everyone, even Scott. Yes, thank you, everyone. Even Sasquatch, but not Kenzie. That's why I said accountability for everyone except Mackenzie in the title. I don't understand.
I mean, it would be hard to drive.
Yeah, well, the car expert said, he said nobody anybody in that car would be disoriented because of the 2 explosions and the powder floating around. You wouldn't be able to see. So now I can't explain the speed. Oh, sorry. I can't explain the speed, but that road is a cut through in Strongsville and the police know it.
Yeah.
Everybody uses it. I've been down that road at a pretty good clip at times. Not saying it's right. I'm not saying, okay, not at all.
It's a shortcut.
It's a shortcut for where she goes. And plus, Dom did not like going down Pearl Road. He liked the.
Why didn't he like going down Pearl Road?
He
Don't do it.
He sold drugs, or at least my understanding is he sold marijuana at this time. And if he got pulled over and he had marijuana on him, he would go to jail.
There's lots of police.
And there's a lot of police, and they sit in the shops all the way up Pearl, and they don't really sit back. And then Industrial Parkway, like I said, it's a cut through. It's a quick cut through, and he always made.
I knew it was coming, and it does have to be addressed. I get it. Pizza Hut says snitch. Listen, I get it. I do. I'm not going to sit here and be ignorant and not say that I can't look at both sides. I can see what he is saying. I can see what he means, but it does not negate from what's going on here at hand. Your daughter is the one who was driving, and essentially, and two people lost their lives. Period. Hard stop. I know that I get this a lot in the comments too. Like, even we're seeing them in the text message. If you're following along, they're deep, they're wild. And I get that there's that whole, the selling of the weed and blah, blah, blah. And I get it. I'm not ignorant to it. I think there's just a time and place for everything. And I know Steve's probably not trying to, or maybe he is, victim blame like that. And yeah, I know he's saying, he was a rug dealer. Okay, Steve, that's not how you make your daughter look good, is by going on a platform and doing that to the victims. Like, there's a time and place for everything. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. The judge already found her guilty, sentenced her. Now you have to go through the correct process, the appeals process, which is quite hard sometimes. And so I don't think it's right that he's doing this, but I could see how he wants his side to be heard, right? And defend Kenzie. I don't knock him for that. He's being a dad. He says he's going to defend her until he dies. So, okay, cool. I got it. My dad would probably do the same, Actually, I don't know that my dad would do the same. I know he would. I don't know. I guess I'll ask him next time I see him, how would you act if, I had unalived two people? Because I have been a reckless driver before too. And so how would that make you feel? And how would you act? I guess that would be a good place to start. But Steve needs to just not do that and take some accountability and have Kenzie take accountability. I knock him for it hard. Yeah, you guys can. I respect it. I respect all opinions. I try to be fair. Before I give my personal judgment. He's not victim blaming, so everyone else is about Mackenzie blaming. It's Dom's fault they were on that road, says expert. Chances of being pulled over. I get it too. I get it. The whole pulled over the police. I was young once. I get it. I come from a family that would not make asses out of themselves. Yeah. See, everyone's different. I know my parents wouldn't be going on a no press tour, but I get it. The documentary came out. The Russos are speaking out. The Flanagans are speaking out. They probably wanted to come out and speak out too.
He made her go down through that way. Even on her prom, her mom, Christine Russo and Dom made her go down that road. She's even, and I wish my cousin passed away a couple.
Let me wind up.
Had marijuana on him, he would go to jail.
There's lots of police.
And there's a lot of police, and they sit in the shops all the way up Pearl, and they don't really sit back. And then Industrial Parkway, like I said, it's a cut through. It's a quick cut through. And he always made her go down through that way. Even on her prom, her mom, Christine Russo and Dom made her go down that road. She's even, and I wish my cousin passed away a couple months ago, and he could have attested because he was in the car with us. But but my understanding is we go down that road all the time. And even in the bind over, or the bind over discovery, there's a note in it that says, we know it's a known cut through. So the police know it, and they even state it's a known cut through. So for the judge to go, you chose that road and blah, blah, blah.
And thank you for the super loyal. Fedora says, at least Dom didn't sell his body. There's that too. There's a lot here, right? There's a lot of moving pieces to this case, especially with it being so out in the public now. But there's a lot that was going on here, I think, on both parties. I can understand in advocating for your daughter, but this isn't it. Fair, Melanie. Dom didn't say anything negative against selling her body. He made her. Mackenzie did what Mackenzie wanted, says Carrots. J Brill, that one girl. Hey, 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 J Brill. Good to see you. Thanks for making an appearance. Appreciate you. They have been speaking out, but according to the reports, Dom didn't have rugs on him. I want to do this in my next. I have a live scheduled where we're going to review like the police reports. I have questions about this. I have questions. I do. I really do about um a lot. I do about Rosie, about it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth and two people are not on earth. Judge blaming too. She was driving. She did choose that road. The Flanagans come out looking the best out of this chaos. I'm gonna drink her because I would be getting trashed right now. I've lost my train of thought, but I'll continue playing it.
It doesn't make any sense because the police, the detective, because he said it, knows it's a cut through. I mean, it's crazy. And they knew, and the drugs, and so Dom would have Mackenzie hold the drugs.
How do you know that? How do you know?
Dom would have Mackenzie hold the drugs. Ouch. Okay. The route. I don't think necessarily, I don't know about Kenzie. Did she practice it? We know she was there. She did drive through it a lot though. So that I think is, I'm kind of like, but again, how he's bringing this up right now,
And so Dom would have Mackenzie hold the drugs.
How do you know that? How do you know Dom was into that?
Because my daughter told me. Yeah. He told me that he sells marijuana and friends buy it from him. And I know.
Lie. You've known Steve. You've gotten it from him. They've smoked it at your house. She smokes it in her room. What do you mean? Just be honest. Just be honest. Okay, fine, whatever. She was a stoner. We got it. We get it. Rosie, why is he up here acting like, oh, she told me. I didn't know until she told me. No, she was taking bong rips in your closet, in your home. Respectfully, yeah, it's hers. She's your child, but you're the one paying for it. You own it. Because my line, like, yeah, this is absolutely crazy.
A lot of,
yeah,
I know. It's just something that I know.
There's a
after
lot
4
about
years.
his background that didn't come out in Netflix either. I know he has.
Well, I think
he's been in trouble with the law before.
Yes,
right?
and that's the reason why he would have me carry mule for him, carry his drugs. Yeah. So if they got pulled over,
so now she's a mule for him.
I know a lot of.
Yeah.
I know. It's just something that I know.
There's a
after
lot
4
about
years.
his background that didn't come out in Netflix either. I know he has.
Well, I think
he's been in trouble with the law before.
Yes,
right?
and that's the reason why he would have me carry mule for him, carry his drugs. Yeah. So if they got pulled over, she got in trouble for him, but it would be just a slap on the wrist, basically.
I'm not against. I don't hate Steve. I don't. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Those text messages. Kenzie is always wanting cards. She fights with Dom over what he's not giving her, what he is. Oh, I want to take a dab today. I didn't take a dab. I'm not smoking, but now can you roll a backwood? Like, what exactly are you trying to say here? It's out there. It is what it is. I'm not the one exposing it. It's out in public documents.
A prior charge for assault as well.
I heard something about that. I don't know the full story on it. I think it was some kind of family.
What I'm trying to say is it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. Okay, yeah, maybe Dom had the weed, whatever. Mackenzie was complicit. She was selling. She knows right from wrong. She knows what she was doing when she was selling to her friends. And not just that, selling to other people too. So I don't want to hear it, Steve-O. I don't want to hear it, respectfully. This is convenient. Hey, Adrian. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I being dramatic? You can't tell this guy. Tabitha says he didn't raise her with accountability, and he sits there blaming the kids she abused and is responsible for unaliving. This is just not the time and place, Steve. Okay, maybe if you want to bring it up in court with your lawyers, I guess. Let that be a thing, I guess, in the court system. But to go on to True Crime Weekly and do this, I'm just like, really?
thing that went on, but I don't.
Any idea why that didn't come out in the Netflix stuff?
I don't know. I don't know why the Netflix people picked what they picked.
Yeah.
Why they edited it the way they edited. I'm not real happy with the way they edited some of the stuff and some of the stuff they picked for me to say. I said what I said in that, and I meant every word that I said. I wasn't trying to hide anything. I was trying to be as honest as I could, but it seemed to be more about me and not about what was happening to my daughter. And so, I mean, like I said, I'm not.
What was happening to your daughter? I'm just questioning what was happening to her that you weren't aware of, what was happening to her that's so bad that you allowed her to go and move in with Dom at 17 years old? Respectfully. Like, what? Just answer that. What do you mean? What's going on here? What's going on in this interview? I'm screaming. You allowed her to move out with Dom at 17.
I'm not real happy with how the outcome. But if it wins an Oscar, I guess I get an Oscar. I'm part of an Oscar. So
there are a couple of questions that came up since the documentary came out. I think it could have been worse. You know, I watched it over the weekend. But there were a couple of questions that had come up. One was can you tell us a little? I mean, it's such a stupid little thing. Your shirt. Can you?
Let me ask again. Is this okay? I don't want to trigger anybody in this world that I'm wearing an orange polo. I hope it's not colorblind enough for anybody. The shirt I was wearing is from Drip Drop, which is Crime Circus on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Crime Circus has been a defender for my daughter. He's
really. The apple don't fall far. An Oscar? Shit. If he gets one, I get one too. Hi, Valerie. No dad for the year. Is that not true what I'm saying? Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat right now about what I've said about the text, and Kenzie was participating in it too. I don't, why is he acting like his daughters didn't do anything wrong here? Like, she didn't just kill two people and she participated in it. We just went over the text messages with Steve and Kenzie. He says, "Oh, I don't want the seed." What does he talks about not wanting the seed, and does he say I don't grow it, I just smoke it or something? I don't remember the exact term. Yeah. I can't.
made many posts saying she's innocent, and he shows the evidence, and he contradicts people who say, no, she's guilty, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no, you have to look at this and this, he was about a month after her trial. His, one of his posts showed up with us. Someone sent it to us, and he had found 5 or 6 interviews from the Strongsville Police Department that were not in the discovery, or were not in the discovery that we could find. And we went over everything, and we had access to everything during the bind over in the trial. There were 5 interviews with Christine Russo, Dom's brother, two of Dom's kind of friends, the Flanagans, and Hench. I think it's Hench, because he gets things done. Christopher Martin, the felon that lives in Christine Russo's basement. And
okay, you guys catch that? Why is he talking about Hench like that? He said the felon that lives in Christine Russo's basement. Really, Steve? And you tell people you don't want to get shit for your interviews. Then I'm the bad guy for coming up here and saying what I say. I'm a big old bully because I'm telling Steve this is so out of pocket. Like, did you talk to your lawyer about this? Like, okay, fine. Then maybe she will get a new trial if they feel that they messed something up in the process. Fine. There was interviews missing. Okay, talk to the judge. Do whatever the next process is. Appeal it. You'll get it approved then if that's true. And then that's fucked up what he's saying about, oh, now he's a felon living in her basement.
He gets things done. Christopher Martin,
gets things done.
Felon that lives in Christine Russo's basement. And he's the one that gave the information, or the intent
Why are you snitching on everyone right now?
to Mackenzie in her trial. He's the one that stated something that didn't happen, and we've got proof that Mackenzie did not threaten that crash that car that day. But
And fine, report it to the police, whatever. I don't care. But this doesn't. How does this help Kenzie? You sitting up here pointing the finger at other people about stuff doesn't help. That she was already found guilty and is serving. She's already served 4 years of her time. Like, what does this have to? How is this going to help? And why didn't you get a defense team that you thought could be adequate enough to your standards to go in and fight this for you? Because clearly you're trying to say that it was a lawyer, it was a judge, it was Dom's doing this, it was the Russos doing that. It's like victim Steve Golden Globe Actor of the Year. It helps her none. She's an attorney. I doubt he is a felon. Yes, she is an attorney, Dom's mother. Yeah, give her a new trial, let her get a lot. Who are the people that platform this family? I don't know. Defend Kenzie all you want, dude. Defend her all you want. I support that. Like, it's your daughter, fine. I respect it, but like, don't do this. Like,
these 5 videos weren't in the discovery, and in all the videos, everyone is in there says that Mackenzie has a problem passing out or seizes. There was an issue, and they just blew over it. And at some point, during Christine Russo's or the brother's interview, because Christine and the brother were there, and every time the detective asked the brother something, he starts to answer, which seems to be truthful, and then Christine Russo talks over him and answers it for him, and he goes, "Oh yeah." So at some point, Christine Russo says, "These aren't going to be, no one's going to see these, right?" And the detective goes, "No, I'm not putting them in."
Wow.
So again, that's omittance, and that seems kind of shady to me.
Well, if there were witnesses that could back up the claim that Kenzie occasionally passed out or had these seizures, that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think so. I would think the detective should, have an obligation to look into it. But when he got her, my understanding is when he got her medical records, he picked up her medical records from the day of the crash forward. He did nothing about going from the day of the crash back. That's true or false.
Yeah.
But that's my understanding.
People try to make
sorry. The shirt.
Yeah.
The shirt is Crime Circus's logo, or one of his swag that he sells. The boom is one of his things. So I wore the shirt to say thank you for what he was doing for my daughter, and he's done a lot. And if I see him, I'm going to hug him. That's the first thing I'm going to do. He's been a very good champion for what I feel is misjustice against my daughter, and the lack of evidence to support the charges. So that's what that shirt was about. Not me being colorblind to 2 boys dying, because it's horrible. It was horrible.
Colorblind? I'm a little confused here. What does he mean by color? I think he's using it in the wrong term, the wrong sense here, the wrong term. Why? He's a creep. Who? Crime? Yeah, y'all should be in jail. Also letting her drive as a minor. Listen. I don't care what he's saying about the pots right now. She went and got her license renewed. I have the document. She went and got her license renewed in October of 2022. October 21st, 2022, she went into, what is this? A subpoena for the Ohio Registrar of Motor Vehicles, Mackenzie Shirilla. It says it on here. And on here, she says she has no driving condition, no medical condition. I do not have a condition that results in an episodic impairment of consciousness or loss of muscular control. I do not have a physical or mental condition that prevents me from exercising reasonable and ordinary control. Okay, so you're saying she has POTS. They ignored that from going back to before the accident. But then after the accident, you still go into DMV and you don't report that? I'm a little confused. Which is it? Respectfully.
The day doesn't go by that I don't think about it, and that was one of the toughest things for me to do with this whole thing at the beginning was, how can I be happy that my daughter's alive and breathing? I mean, and the fact that these two boys died, and Dom was part of our family, and however anybody wants to spin it, he went everywhere with our family. He was at Easter.
So was he part of your family, or was he the drug dealer? Which one was it that you weren't happy about, but you allowed her to move in at 17? Which one is it? He's part of the family. You loved him. He was able to sleep over, but he's a drug dealer and a bad person. But she can move in with him at 17. I trust her.
Christmas, he was part of our vacations. He was part of our family. You know, I'm sorry the Russos lost a son and or a brother or a cousin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the Flanagans lost Davion. There's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
Of course not.
To ever change that. I was at the gravesite with Christine and them countless days. I talked to the dad. You know, the dad.
There is something you can do. You can take accountability. Christine Russo has stated that. You can also, Mr. Flanagan in the documentary says that he just wants to know the truth, and he would be even willing to forgive her. Yeah. How could you forgive someone that kills someone in your family? That would be very hard for me personally. Maybe we're all just built differently. I would have a hard time with that. Bless Mr. Flanagan's heart. Like, he is just a little angel in my eyes. But he says it. He says, if she just tells me exactly what happened in that car and what the last minutes of Davion's life were like I can give some ounce of forgiveness, which is crazy to me, but I respect it. So there are things you can do, Steve. Taking accountability and not doing it, going on here and talking about that about them would be a good place to start.
House, telling Mackenzie he believes her, that, you know, blah, blah, they thought it was an accident, it's okay, and they did this little pendulum thing, and then after the bind over, it stopped. You know, I don't get it. You know, none of the evidence changed. The black box information was the black box information.
The prosecutors gave them a place to focus their anger.
Well, their story. It was his narrative, and even in one of those drip drop or one of those release videos, the detective saying, "Well, I'm just doing what Troop wants, what Tim wants. You know, I'm just, you know." So we believe this detective on day 3 or 4 already assumed the worst. You know, and so that's what sorry to go back to it. That's what the shirt was. The shirt was a thank you to Crime Circus. Wasn't a me being colorblind or insensitive to anybody, because that's the most idiotic. Because, oh my God, why would I do that? That's got to be the dumbest take on a shirt, you know. And again, everyone, it's orange. I'm sorry if it's offensive. I apologize now.
I just assumed. I mean, it's a graphic T-shirt. And I know you come from an art background, graphic design.
Yep, graphic design. Yep.
And then you were teaching art.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, what's happened since the documentary came out?
Well, apparently, the diocese had a problem with something I said in there, along with.
Did people contact the
Yes, that's my understanding. There was a website out of Parma, Parma something, and I guess they just called in and made all kind of stupid, baseless accusations. And then the diocese has an obligation to protect the kids, which I understand. But the problem I have with the diocese doing how they did it is they didn't talk to me. They just acted. Yeah. Here it is, boom.
So you were teaching for like a Catholic school?
Catholic school, yes.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is that he doesn't know anything about why they put him on leave. I want to see pics of him in the unemployment line. It was dumb and inappropriate shirt to wear on the Netflix documentary. Yeah. The second time he used the wrong phrase, he says colorblind. Fancy pants, hi, Ozzy. Val's a compliment to him. Why does he keep talking? Does he know we can see him? Have you read the messages between your abusive daughter and her victim? That's a good question. I wonder if they have. I feel like they can't help but see it on the onlines. The Shirilla parents are more worried about covering up than finding out the truth. Yeah. Steve forgot he said in the hospital that his precious demon tried to unalive her boyfriend and friends, point blank period. It was intentional. Tell us about your uncle in the Catholic school, says Sandra. Boom again. You know, Steve, you know what's going on. And if you didn't, you should have already got a lawyer.
Acted. Yeah. Here it is, boom.
So you were teaching for like a Catholic school.
Catholic school, yes.
Yeah. They're saying that because of the drugs or something.
It's something. I mean, in the documentary, we were talking about her.
Didn't have a problem with her.
I don't have. I didn't. As you know, as a parent, I pick my battles. You know, I'm sorry if I find marijuana not that dangerous as I find alcohol or cocaine or whatever. You know, my daughter, beyond what everybody else seems to think or wants to interpret or glean, she seemed mature enough to handle it. I didn't see a issue. It wasn't causing her to be late for this or not do this or.
Excuse me, what? Kenzie could barely make it to school every day, whether it was her online or Polaris. There's pictures of her and videos of her eating shrooms in your house. It doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter. Everyone's 420 friendly. I get it. I'm not judging. We are 420 friendly here, but like there's a place and time for everything. Don't go on Netflix and talk like that. Keep that to yourself, I guess, would be my suggestion. This is wild. Yeah, what about her was mature? What about her was mature? I would really want Steve and Natalie to genuinely answer that. What about her was mature? I'm so lost. Even in the Netflix documentary, she doesn't look like she's matured. Yeah, exactly. She told her to get the F out of the hospital, had no respect for him or the mother. She talks so bad about them. I pick my battles equals I let her get away with everything to keep her from having tantrums. They knew she was smoking and driving. They knew she had major anger issues. They knew she was drinking underage. They knew about a lot of things that were going on. I don't know why he's all up acting like, oh, she just smoked a joint here and there. Nah, dude, you knew about a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Or get in an accident. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't anything that was, and I had other battles I wanted to fight with her, and I taught her right along. I said, look, you can't be driving with it, blah blah blah. Watch with, you can't. You be careful with Dominic. You know, if you get caught, he gets caught, you get caught. All I can do is teach her and try to make her learn. She's a lot like me. When I was little, I needed to do it, experience it to learn it. And don't touch the stove. Steve, don't touch the stove, and I go touch the stove, and it got burned. It's who she is. She has to learn for herself and make her own choices, and that's what I was doing. And she was getting older, and her and Dom were making a life together. Now, was I greatly happy?
Wait, Dom, the drug dealer that you thought was so bad and dangerous, they're making a life together.
With the relationship, no. This toxic has been thrown around a lot. I didn't see the toxic relationship that everybody's saying, oh, it's toxic. This is a toxic relationship. And they argued. I argued with my wife. Everybody argues, okay? From what I knew, it wasn't toxic. They argued. They broke up. He's over the next day with flowers and candy and a stuffed animal. I mean, it was like every couple of months something would happen, and my wife was helping.
Every couple of months. I beg to differ. We just finished March 2021 text messages, and it was every day, if not every other day, that says she hated living at your house. And her and Dom had something going on.
Them try to fix the relationship, and they were never, ever breaking up. And anybody who says that is lying. And I don't care if it's hurtful. They were not breaking up. They may break up, but they were getting right back together. I was on my daughter all the time. I punished her all the time. Okay, it's not me going, okay, just go have a whole time, go smoke dope, have fun, woo, drive your car really fast.
I mean, that's what it looks like on the documentary. It looks like a teenage girl who has no supervision, who smokes weed all the time, who makes her own rules
She-
and lives with her boyfriend.
She,
Like,
she
how much of that is true? How much?
she stayed with her boyfriend. It was they were talking about moving in, and she was getting close to 18. And if I would have hammered her and locked her into her room, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Chain her to the bed? I mean, that's okay. All I can do is teach her how to survive.
This didn't just start when she was 17. We just went over disturbance reports. This was going on as early as 2016. She was shoplifting. The cops were being called because she was trying to unalive herself. But then you're like, no, I'm not. I'm taking her serious. But then you call the cops. Then you threaten to call the cops in the text messages. So again, which is it? Which is it? What father talks like that? I thought that the nose was like he's drilling him. Oh yeah, no. He does look like he's wearing a jumpsuit. You have no clue what you're talking about. He's just being, this is again, no accountability. Hey Crash, this is, yeah.
And live, and she knew if there's a problem, who to call. She talked to my wife all the time. If these two kids were going to break up and there was a problem, my wife would already know. We would have known it. Okay. I would have been very happy about it if they broke up. Okay. No boy would ever be good enough for my daughter. That's a father,
Wait. She was building a life with him, but you wanted them to break up now?
Father, but again, he did treat her very well. I didn't see much of the fight. I didn't see the stupid little fights or the arguments I didn't see it.
One other thing that came out I've been trying to catch up on social media about what people are saying about this. There's one other weird thing that came up that I was hoping that you could explain a little bit. I guess at one point, Kenzie and her mother are caught on tape.
Wait, I want to go back.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Chain her to the bed? I mean, that's okay. All I can do is teach her how to survive and live, and she knew if there's a problem, who to call. She talked to my wife all the time. If these two kids were going to break up and there was a problem, my wife would already know. We would have known it. Okay. I would have been very happy about it if they broke up. Okay. No boy would ever be good enough for my daughter. That's a father, but again, he did treat her very well. I didn't see much of the fight. I didn't see the stupid little fights or the arguments or
stupid little fights, arguments. Keying someone's car is stupid little fight. Threatening to call the police is a stupid little fight. Breaking bongs to where they're cutting themselves is a stupid little fight. Not for 17 and 18-year-olds. That's a little crazy. Dom was more of a parent to her than they ever were. That's a problem. You have no idea. It's called discipline. He taught her absolutely nothing. Yeah, I guess if he hasn't really no idea of those text messages, which I doubt that's true. I covered them way early in the situation, but I'm sure they had already seen him, perhaps somewhere else. Thanks, Chucks, for gifting a membership. I just saw that. Appreciate you. Wow.
didn't see it.
One other thing that came out I've been trying to catch up on social media about what people are saying about this. There's one other weird thing that came up that I was hoping that you could explain a little bit. I guess at one point, Kenzie and her mother are caught on tape talking in like what people.
I'm confused. So did the Shirillas like Dom or not? Because he says that he wanted, that's who her son was going to spend, his daughter was going to spend the rest of her life with Dom. Okay. So, but then he's a drug dealer and you didn't want him around, but he was always around and he was part of the family. I'm confused.
Calling a different language or like Carney speak?
It's Carney. It's gypsy speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that something they would do?
It's a family thing. It's a family thing that my wife grew up with.
Can you speak it?
Oh, so Natalie taught her. Saw the times they were called to come and remove their daughter from Dom's because she refused to leave. We're not clueless to this parents talking out both sides of his mouth. Yeah. Hey, Obsidian. If my child was reading through all the official documents, if it was my child, I'd be reading through all of them. Me too. Thanks, Nemo. I wonder how he got away from Natalie to do this interview. It sounds like Natalie and Steve could have possibly had a toxic relationship, which is why he doesn't recognize it or see it that way, because he's used to that. And perhaps that's why Kenzie was that way. My opinion only.
No,
Okay.
it's because they do it so fast. It's
I know how it works now.
to say the
You add an extra syllable in with
the is easy.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say that right. It's like a pig Latin. You're adding vowels, or you're splitting the word with, and it's something the families, my wife's family has done for years. It's nothing. It's like when the gypsies and the carnivals would come around, and they didn't want the locals to hear what they were saying. That's what they would speak.
Yeah.
So my daughter and wife talk that way. And when they don't want to have someone hear what they're talking about, that's what they talk about. It's like having a German person or Japanese out here in America start talking Japanese because they don't. It's a private thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the speech. It's called Carney.
How old was Kenzie when she learned how to do
Well, she was pretty young. I've never heard anyone say it. I'm sorry. I'm smiling. I'm smiling because it's a good memory for me.
Sure.
My wife and my daughters, it's like bees, and during this process, we knew when my daughter was in the juvenile center or over in county, she didn't want people around hearing what we were talking about because there's big ears everywhere, and then someone's going to say something, and we didn't want to give away what we were possibly doing in court or how we were going to try to defend her. So we were trying to be careful what anybody else overheard or who was overhearing her, or I say we, but they were. It's a language they speak together. It's like twins speaking a weird language. It was not to hide anything nefarious. There's big talk about something she said in the hospital, and if you know the language, she didn't say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing.
Yeah, I think they're trying to say
she was saying, I was seizing her, and that didn't happen. There's no Sizu Izu, there's no word in that whole conversation about that. Plus my daughter was just that was the day of or the day after, and she was on all kind of pain med.
So if they weren't hiding anything, why couldn't she say it in English? En inglés, por favor. Kenzie gets her demonic genes from Steve. Listen, he says that Kenzie's just like him. Hey, Green, you can't cause your daughter because is alive. Yeah. That man needs to understand that when you're raising children, you must teach your children about accountability. And that's the one thing they did not teach her. She has no accountability. Kenzie is unlikable, but the parents are way worse.
Medication. She broke her femur. She broke her fibula. I think it's the fibula, right? Yeah. She broke the fibula, detached tricep, 3 broken ribs, a puncture wound through her knee, lacerated liver, lacerated kidney, bumps and bruises all over her face. Both her carotid arteries were damaged. I mean, the kid's lucky to be alive. So she was on, she didn't really know what she.
Okay. Why is this necessary? That's cool, Steve. You get to still see your daughter. There's 2 people that aren't alive, and their families will have to go to the grave site to visit them.
Was saying she had just found out what happened with Dom and Davion because we didn't tell her at first. She was in so much pain, and we just didn't want to add to that. So
it strikes me too as like every time I think about this, it's a really stupid way to commit suicide if that's what you're intending.
God, my God, she was not committing suicide. There's absolutely no base, no evidence, no manifesto, no note, no video, nothing. There's not one iota of evidence.
Time, what do you think happened?
God, okay, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know. I know the car crashed. I know Davion and Dominic lost their lives. I know my daughter was lucky to be alive. I know she went through I believe she was falsely accused. The charges she was accused of, I'm not completely getting away she's not completely innocent. She was driving a car, and and it should have been.
You
It should have never
mean
left.
what he's trying to say is should have got a lesser charge. Steve, I'm telling you, I can even be a PR person. He claims he was picking his battles with her because he knows he can't admit that she's a walking unwell battle. The black box says otherwise, says RLF. They couldn't care less how terribly the other families are suffering. Yeah, why even? I think it's just not very thoughtful to just sit up there and be like, oh, she had a broken, what did he say? Fibula, tibula, whatever, broken or carotid arteries. It's like, dude, no one wants to hear it. We already know. We already went through this. Like, just be mindful of the families. Like, they don't, yeah, word salad.
The juvenile court, and it should have been vehicular homicide or reckless vehicular homicide. And I don't think you could even prove reckless with what evidence is not available to the prosecutor.
100 miles per hour is not reckless.
But I don't know.
Why do you
I think it was I would, if I had to give my guess, I think it's a bunch of things. I think it's a perfect storm. I'm pretty good. She was probably coming down there 60, 70 miles an hour. Okay. One theory is something happened to the car. Toyota has a history.
No. They did a car, what do you call that? The reconstruction. She was going 100 miles per hour, if not maybe 97 at some point, 97.8. What world is he living in? Because wherever that is.
It's documented. It's on the internet. I don't know. I don't know how would ever prove it. The black box isn't on. It's not recording any of that because the black box turned on down the road. If something happened to the car and the gas pedal stuck and accelerated, all would be in that car is panic. And then if that car came around that little bend, and it's not a severe bend, it's a manageable bend, and it hit that dip that used to be in the road that the city fixed last year or last summer, that car went flying, and that's what turned on. That's what the black box said. The car went right to left. The car thought it was flipping over. The black box turned on. The side airbags went off. Yeah. I mean, and again, the black box is nonlinear. It's not a linear recording. It doesn't go on. It's not a constant. Like every micro. Yeah, in a nonlinear thing, it's going half second, half second, half second, half.
We got it. His favorite word is linear, nonlinear. I got it. I guess we need to review those reconstruction reports today. He doesn't understand science. And I ain't even going to sit up here and act like I'm some Toyota reconstructionist, but they already did. They already did their whole thing with Toyota. They did their Toyota inspection, and no, sir, there was no issue with the vehicle.
A second or microsecond, whatever the timing is. And our car guy said, you can't necessarily say she'd never braked because it could have happened in between. And mind you, I'm not saying that because there's no proof to that. Yeah. Why would I? But it could have happened.
Everybody else is saying a lot of things where there's no proof.
Yeah, well, sorry. Yeah, especially the prosecutor, and there's more to that if we can get to it eventually. But at the end of that video, the brake lights go on, and their car expert said, "Well, that's a safety feature." Yeah. Well, why didn't the brakes go on?
Aren't brakes a safety feature by design?
I think so, but what I'm saying is, the brake. You could see the brakes clearly
on the video.
On the video, you clearly see them, and his response, "Well, that's a safety feature." Well, why did the safety feature work prior?
Yeah,
it hadn't hit anything. It just went across the road. That was right as it went across the road. So why is the safety feature only working right there? So
why do you think they went so hard against her?
Man, well, there's the part where maybe I'll get myself in trouble. I think there's some collusion going on. I think it's a fix. I think it's a favor. That last name Russo in this town.
Oh my God.
I was trying to.
I can't handle him. This whole interview, he has been blamed a different person or thing every single time. Now, first the drug dealer, but then he's moving in, and then the pots, and then oh, the airbags, and now it's, oh, this. Now it's, oh, the judge was corrupt. Yeah, like Auntie Bev and Karen Reed case. No, she wasn't. She had the same last name. This is pretty ridiculous. Thank you, Rainbow. This part will get you in trouble. I figured out that he just says that for attention. He did it in the movie, I think. He did it in the other interview. He's like, "Oh, this is probably gonna get me in trouble." And it's like, well, you already know you shouldn't be saying it. What about 2 weeks before the accident when she tried to take him out? What about when she would text him and tell him that he better watch his back and watch his life and watch his house and his car? How about those things? Unbelievable. I can't. This is crazy. Now the judge is corrupt. Everyone's corrupt. Everyone lied. All the law enforcement, detectives, they're all POSs, according to Steve.
Favor that last name, Russo, in this town.
It's like, I was trying to explain that to somebody. Having the last name Russo in Cuyahoga County is like having the last name Kennedy in Boston.
Mm-hmm. There might be some truth to that. Like I said, this is a political family, and I apologize to the Flanagan family right now. If it was just Davion in the car, she wouldn't be in jail. She would have never left the juvenile court.
What? I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that because the family was up there in politics or whatever, that's why she got 15 years. That is so disgusting, though. So what? Davion's life wasn't worth the 15 years? He says, I apologize to the Flanagans. Steve, that's it. I'm done with you. I try to be nice.
This is a political family, and I apologize to the Flanagan family right now. If it was just Davion in the car, she wouldn't be in jail. She would have never left the juvenile court. This has to do with.
So then what? You kind of wish it was just Davion in there? Like, if you have to say I apologize before you talk, it's probably a red flag. Don't fucking say it. And you guys really think that the prosecution and that they would mess up this case so bad to allow someone that might have known the family? Really? I mean, it's happened before. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't. If Davion was in the car, she would have just got probation. Dude, that's his life.
The boy's last name, and the judge saying, well, I don't have a blood relationship. Look, I'm not saying she has got a blood relationship. I'm saying she has relationships with the Russo family, and her even saying that in court just
what?
Just if you're going to believe doesn't have a relationship, you're fooling yourself.
He's saying the judge has a relation. If I were Judge Russo, I would be looking into this. Is this possible defamation? Because you are not making her look good if you're saying that she somehow had something to do with the Dom's family, the Russos. You're saying that he's talking about the judge here. You're saying that she went against her position as a judge. That is crazy. Am I understanding that right?
He has relationships with the Russo family, and her even saying that in court.
Who is he talking about?
And in the car, she wouldn't be in jail. She would have never left the juvenile court. This has to do with the boy's last name, and the judge saying, well, I don't have a blood relationship. Look, I'm not saying she has got a blood relationship. I'm saying she has relationships with the Russo family, and her even saying that in court just if you're going to believe doesn't have a relationship, you're fooling yourself. I'm not saying it's directly with Christine Russo down the road here, but it's with somebody, you know, and
there are many Russos
yes,
in judicial
positions.
In
fact, it was
and the prosecutor's office.
Yep, and Christine Russo was part of that prosecutor's office at one point, and I believe she's friends with Tim Troop. I think they were in the office together.
Well,
so this is just about Steve coming up here and telling people's information. That's good. Okay. We got it. We got it, Steve. This guy, wishes it was Davian. There's something wrong with his brain. He literally came up here to just point blame at everything and everyone.
Let me jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
How is what was Kenzie's take on the documentary? How's she doing after this has come out?
She's okay. I thought she was okay with it. She's in Marysville.
Okay.
She wasn't so okay with the fact that they used, when she turned to the lawyer, her lawyer was there with her when she did this, and she turned to him and wanted to make sure she said what she wanted to say and that she didn't sound like she's just talking gibberish. So she turned to him and they ran with that and let it go. And it just makes her seem like it was planned, performant, you know, and it wasn't. I thought she did well, and she was beautiful, and I think she was very composed.
Excuse me. He said that she looks beautiful in jail clothes. My dad would be like, "Yeah, you got yourself there. You think you look cute in there? You think that's better than your clothes, Molly?" She turned up the mask. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. That is something my dad would say. Hmm.
And I think she was very composed. You can see that she's got a couple years maturity to her now.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's a rehabilitation. Marysville's more of a rehabilitation than it is a maximum security. You lock the cells, you know, or the prisons you see on TV or in a movie.
Are they able to go outside?
She goes outside. She's got a lot of freedom. Other than being a Joe, she's got some freedom. She's got a day and she does stuff. They go outside. She's
Steve just he just admitted that she has a lot of freedom in jail, which we do already know. She gets all the commissary, she gets the makeup, the hair, jewels, the jewelry. I think, yeah, shoes, Crocs. She gets size 13 Crocs. Steve, just stop talking, please. Yeah, so she's been living a very cushy life.
She's got jobs.
That's nice that she's going back to school. That's good. Dom and Davion don't get to. Davion didn't get to go to barber school.
Other than being a Joe, she's got some freedom. She's got a day and she does stuff. They go outside. She's starting to take classes, college classes. She works in the kitchen. You know, she's got jobs.
What would she, if this hadn't have happened, what would she be doing today?
She was looking at modeling and fashion and stuff like that. And we were with the barber. She was with the barber, and there was a big stink about that.
Yeah.
There was something she was going to something, or something was planned, and it was just them talk. You know, it wasn't us going, "Hey, we're going to do." It wasn't that. God, things are blown so far out of proportion.
You guys, it's fine. Like, it's not my business. Whatever they want to buy her in commissary. The thing is like, don't stop doing it on interviews like this, unless that's what you're purposely doing intentionally, which clearly it seems like you are trying to just come up here and stir the pot, go against the other families. You're probably upset. I get it. The Shirillas are probably upset that the families are speaking out and they want to be platformed too. And they want their daughter to be heard too. She's alive. No one else killed Dom and Davion except her in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Sometimes it was just something she was involved with prior and during the accident, or during this, you know, during her rehabilitation or whatever, you know. So it's again not a colorblind thing. It had nothing to do with remorse. It was about something she was doing already, you know. There was plans, or there was plans, and they were just talking about it. That's all. It wasn't anything nefarious against the boys or, oh my God, look, she's trying to be a model after all. But she was trying to be a model prior. It was just it was the continuation of what she had already started. So
is there anything else you'd like to clear up that you think?
I can clear every little misconception out, and there'll still be the people on the internet making their own assumptions. I don't know how many podcasts I've watched that all their information, anything, they had the gist of the story. There's a crash, 2 boys died, Mackenzie. Okay. But all their facts are wrong. I mean, I hear what she was doing.
Dude. No. I've been reading the police paperwork, the actual documents. Yeah, maybe my opinion is irrelevant and doesn't have that much say, but like, what? Absolutely not, Steve. You will not come up here and do that. Don't know what we're talking about. Come on up, Steve. Come on and do a show with me. Anthony says, shut up, Steve. Tell Steve to come up to Melly when you guys see him in chats. Tell him to come up. Fair game. I'll be nice. Wow.
And she was doing that. I mean, there's just, unless you really delve.
We just got that from her TikToks. We just showed her taking bong rips in your house in the closet because we saw them on her own TikToks. Sure, that's an invasion of privacy. Well, it was up until your daughter became part of the system, and that's public information.
Into it and look at the transcripts and look, and you're not going to. You can't see. I don't know how people can get on and actually say, well, she did this, and she didn't. She didn't plan it. That morning, the boys woke her up. There was no fighting the whole time they were there. Even the boy whose house he was at, even said so much. They weren't fighting. Rosie and Bubba both said they weren't fighting. There was no fighting. It wasn't okay. My understanding is Mackenzie had her head on Dom's lap almost all night for when she was sleeping. Okay. The boys got her up, they got in the car. My understanding is there's a grocer, or it was an organic, good food kind of, local honey, good stuff, for you. And my daughter and Dom were eating healthy. So they have lockers.
Lies. The boys didn't get her up according to anything else. Kenzie woke up and Dom wasn't there. So, did I miss something? Where did I miss it? What am I missing here? Am I wrong? Oh, the thing Rosie told you? Yeah, we know Rosie. Who Rosie's out here defending. I'm just saying. Yeah, like Rosie and Bubba are the most reliable. Rosie would never admit that they were fighting. We're going to talk about this. I have a Rosie live with police reports coming up. I was going to do it today, but I want to do text messages first. Wow.
Food kind of, local honey, good stuff, for you. And my daughter and Dom were eating healthy. So they have lockers outside. So if you buy, say, potatoes, she'll put the potatoes in the locker, give you the number, and then you can come by at any time and pick it up. It was a convenience for the customer. So it makes, now, I don't know if they were going there again for sure, because I don't know. But that would be on the route. That would be the quickest way to, and they had planned on making dinner that night or going to dinner or doing something. They were planning her birthday. They were not breaking up. For anyone to say they were breaking up, it is a lie. Yeah. It is, there's no base, it's a baseless narrative from the prosecution.
Steve, your own daughter says it in the text messages. They were constantly talking about breaking up.
It's an absolute lie, and they were never going to break up, to my dismay, mind you. I would, every time they did break up, I was happy. I was like, oh, please. Mind you, again, Dom was a gentleman over here, and he was very respectful. He was respectful at any place we went. Okay, so I mean, I don't, but again, I knew
nobody could.
He didn't have a job. He didn't have a job. He had hundreds of dollars on him at all time. We went to dinner and he pulls out, he fanned out, more money.
You ask him, like, where'd you get that money?
I knew. I know what he was doing.
He's like, I didn't ask. I allowed it. I didn't ask. I knew. Okay, he's saying I knew what it was. Okay, so then why are you pointing the finger and saying he was a drug dealer, this and that, bad person, wanted them to break up? Yeah, but you let him buy you dinner. Thank you, expert. Yeah, you let him buy you dinner. You let Kenzie buy all of this stuff with all that rug money. You exactly, Calissa says you bought from him. I'm really not coming for Steve. I'm really not. We're just talking about the fact that he's up here again, not being very honest. You know, what the hell is wrong with him? Steve, this interview will not help you find another teaching job, says Lindsay. I'm not laughing because I'm being evil. I'm laughing because it's like, dude, you didn't fucking learn from the documentary and you losing your job. Like, you didn't learn. You still went on TMZ. And then you were basically arguing with the guys on TMZ. Then Vinny says that you should shut up and you don't. Why are they still speaking out? And then you do this interview.
It must have been good. I mean, he's got the whole high school and right next to him. You know, again, I'm not saying that to slander Dominic.
No, you're just saying that the school allowed that he was a drug dealer, so now the school's going to have to speak up and say something. Like, you're saying that they allowed him. He was selling to the whole entire school.
High school and right next to him, you know. Again, I'm not saying that to slander Dominic. It's just what it is. I don't know. Like I said, that the lack of evidence and the lack of evidence.
Fair game. Fine. He was selling. Your daughter was too. We just heard it one day ago in the text message. Can I get 2 carts from you, Kenzie? How much should I get? 4 grams? 3 grams of shrooms? Yeah. So they were both doing it. Don't just single him out.
That supports the judge's summation. There is none. They threw in at the last minute the cell tower pinged and you were there, so you were checking it out. Right. That's a leap. You're in the city, you're in Strongsville, and a cell tower in Strongsville in an area that you're down all the time picks up your phone, and how do you leap from, okay, you're casing this spot out? That's from a judge. That's from a sitting judge of how many years? What, 15, 20 years or something like that? Yeah. She's been on the bench a long time, and that came out of her mouth. You case this place out. That's no. There's absolutely no. Now, if they had a picture of her doing it, and she's over there looking, and in one of her posts, she goes, "I was checking out the crash site today." Sure. Look, if you can prove to me she did it with intent, then she's right where she belongs.
That's where it comes down for me, is proving the intent. And it seems to me that the only way anybody could possibly do that in a situation is to get inside her mind, which we can never do. We can never know. Which is why I think if it had gone to a jury.
My personal opinion, my opinion only, is I think the only people that know what truly happened is Dom, Davion, RIP, Mackenzie, and I think her parents both know. That's just my opinion from everything. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to think that. It's fair game. Fine, I respect it. I don't get all butthurt about that if people don't agree with me. But that is my opinion. I think they truly know what happened in that car. I think Kenzie told her parents.
Of 12 people.
Oh, she would have never. One of
those people.
She would have never got convicted. She'd be free today. She'd be going on with her life. But she'd be free. That's the truth. But to let you know that her lawyer, when asked her about a jury or bench, she asked for a jury, and he talked her out of it.
What's the benefit of a bench trial over?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Yeah. You're gonna have to ask Jim McDonald. I mean, he clearly knows the law better than me.
Yeah. Steve, if your daughter didn't know how to talk to a lawyer, you should have stepped in. If you didn't, you should have done something about it. Like they're having bad representation doesn't fall on anyone except you. Whoever made the checks, whoever hired him, whoever went and had a consultation with that attorney. You want to blame Jim McDonald? Is that his name? Jim McDonald? Okay. Well,
that's
too
the
late
truth.
now.
But to let you know that her lawyer, when asked her about a jury or bench, she asked for a jury, and he talked her out of it.
What's the benefit of a bench trial over?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to ask Jim McDonald. I mean, he clearly knows the law better than me.
Yeah.
You know, I told her to get a jury trial. You're not going to get 12 people that are going to go along with this.
What's her best chance of getting out at this point?
We're at the state level. We knew the Cuyahoga County was going to be. She was not going to get any relief from. That's just how Cuyahoga County is. You know, and we've talked about that a little bit.
Think about it. If she would have had a jury trial, everything we've seen, normal people like us, regular human beings who have lived life and experienced a lot of this, would be sitting in that jury making the call. You'd think that they would have thought differently? I don't know. Maybe. I thought they picked a bench trial because they didn't want all those text messages out. I don't think that benefits Kenzie. All of those text messages, all of the snaps, all of the Celebrate reports we've gone over for Instagram and Snap and TikTok. Those would all be seen.
You kind of have to be from Cuyahoga County to
understand. So we knew Cuyahoga County was gonna railroad us, or what do you call, roadblock us at every pass, and they did. You know, them changing the coroner's report from accidental to homicide was done illegally. They needed to go through a court hearing to have it done, and they did.
And this is it. This part, Rainbow says her best effing chance is to take accountability and get paroled. They want you to be rehabilitated and to apologize and be remorseful of what you did. That means taking accountability, accepting it. You already are being forced to being in prison, like, which you deserve, but that's part of the rehabilitate yourself. You know?
And the appellate court called them on it, and all they did was smack their hand. If this had been any other trial, they'd be back at trial. That'd be a mistrial, or that would be a reason to go back to trial, but not in Cuyahoga County, because, Nancy Margaret Russo is blah, blah, blah.
Good name.
We're still fighting the late.
Oh yeah, you were a day late.
A day late. My lawyer, or we had a public defender at first, and we talked to him for like a minute, and he ordered the transcripts from the trial, because that's what you need, and the transcripts from the bind over. There's two different trials. One's at the juvenile level, one's the trial.
Yeah.
Well, when the new lawyers, Eric Nemechek, got a hold of it, all he had was the trial. So he put in for the bind over stuff, and the bind over stuff came a month later. So he thought he had a little more time.
Yeah.
And it was a leap year. It's almost like, again, another perfect storm. But
and who was the person to rule that it was a day late?
When they put the brief into, because it goes back to Nancy.
Yeah. Right. That's what I thought it was.
Isn't that crazy? It goes back to the judge.
Okay. Victim blaming is one thing, and now you're up here trying to put dirt on the judge's name. I know people do it all the time, but it's like, when this is still an ongoing thing, like you're trying to get a new appeal and stuff, like, how does this make you look good? How does this help? How does this help talking shit on the judge? Like, isn't this what you talk to your lawyers about? You have like a conference hearing or some shit, like.
It was a leap year. It's almost like, again, another perfect storm. But
and who was the person to rule that it was a day late?
When they put the brief into, because it goes back to Nancy.
Yeah. Right. That's what I thought it was.
Isn't that crazy? It goes back to the judge, who's already biased.
Yeah.
Okay. She's already biased. She's biased herself. And if anyone can't see that,
she doesn't want to overrule herself.
She's not going to overrule herself. I mean, that ego must, I don't know how she walks in and out of the room with that kind of an ego, It's unfortunate that a sitting judge of that long ruled that way and acted that way. Maybe it makes sense why she didn't get reelected, or on the new seat she wanted, maybe it makes sense why the Democratic Party didn't endorse her. We've heard that there's some investigation going on about her. Who knows? But a sitting judge that long on the bench can't decipher between fact and speculation.
Yeah.
She's either incompetent, dirty, or both. Sorry. But the things I really want to touch on, the prosecutor. Let's talk about Tim Troop. Tim Troop in the documentary, you hear him. He's on camera saying, well, we looked at everything. We turned everything over and we looked at everything. So it's this.
Yeah. What
do you mean you looked at everything? What exactly did you look at? How do you go from, well, we looked at all this, so if it was none of this, it has to be this.
Yeah.
That's a jump. That's a,
I have an expert there saying that the slipper might not have.
So it wasn't just the judge, you guys. It wasn't just the judge. Now it's the prosecutor, the detectives. I can't keep track anymore how many people he's blaming. How many people? Thank you. Rochelle says, how many people has he blamed so far? I can't keep track. Just massive coincidences. Dude. This leap year is known to be happen every 4 years. You know what? I don't buy the leap year thing. That's ridiculous. If you're a lawyer and you can look at the calendar, isn't leap year on most calendars like they put it in small print? I think mine does. There's Google, dude. Like, look it up.
Cause the accelerator to stick, but that's one guy's opinion.
That slipper. I didn't even talk about the slipper.
If I see that in an accident scene where you've got the black box data showing that the accelerator was pushed
all the way to the floor,
and then there's a slipper stuck, like, I mean,
yeah. Well,
come on.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably, what do you call it? Without a shadow of a doubt, it's a doubt. It's a plausible, realistic doubt that judge should have taken into consideration. Then again, our lawyer should have done, her lawyer, and I'm gonna call my lawyer. I would never have that guy as my lawyer. Yeah, that's hindsight, by the way. But if he would have fought for her and brought some of this stuff up, I mean, now in his defense, I'll go this way. He saw that there was nothing. They didn't have anything. And I think maybe that's what he's doing, because it's the burden of proof is on the prosecution. So he doesn't really have to say anything. You have to prove it. And I don't think, and I don't believe, and if you listen to that prosecutor did not prove intent. But Tim Troop in the documentary says, I looked at everything and I couldn't figure it out. So it has to be this. It's almost like the wife dies in an accident in the house and they look at everything, but it's the husband. It's a jump. It's a lazy jump.
It is a lazy.
In the detective, I don't know how that guy has his job. I don't know how he became a detective.
Wow. I can't. I'm so annoyed with him. Blames Toyota, Dom, and Davion LaRusso's a Russo judge, prosecutor, leap year. Did I miss anything? Yeah, the slipper, the Prada slipper. Someone said it too. It's Prada's fault. Yeah, blame Prada now. The whole justice system is so corrupt. Just jail an 18-year-old girl for 2 more murders. LOL, according to Steve. Everybody's always picking on Mackenzie. So basically everyone in the world is wrong. Yeah, everyone. We're wrong. The public is wrong. These lame podcasters, the judge, every single thing and person involved in this case is wrong and are to blame for Mackenzie's downfall.
My opinion, this is a lazy dude. He was in the bind over. He was on the stand, and the only time Mackenzie's lawyer was doing anything for her was when he was cross-examining him. And at some point, he goes to the detective and goes, "What do you think happened?" And he stammers, "I don't know." And I wasn't in there because I was supposed to be a witness. Me and Jim argued back and forth because I didn't like how Jim was talking and saying and doing stuff. So he kept me out of the room, so I didn't upset the cart, I guess. But if I'd have been in there, I would have shouted. Our lawyer should have turned to the judge, who's an O'Malley, who I think is a sister or a brother or a cousin to Mike O'Malley. And should have turned to that judge and said, motion to dismiss. How does the guy who's finding all this evidence, all this massive Evidence, not speculation. Evidence, not I think she did it. Oh, we believe she did it. Oh, I feel she did it. It's evidence. I don't know why he didn't turn that judge and go, how does this guy who knows all this, who's the keeper of all the evidence, not know? So if this guy doesn't know,
that guy has doubt.
If this guy, the guy who's looking at it, doesn't know, if he doesn't know, how do you even charge somebody with any kind of thing? You don't know. You're guessing. You're making a guess. You watched CSI last night and you're making a call off of watching CSI a couple episodes.
Yeah.
This guy's a danger. He's a dangerous. This is a dangerous detective out of Strongsville. He's dangerous. Anybody, you get pulled over now.
No. He's saying the detective is dangerous. He's delusional. I'm glad you guys are thinking the same thing I am. I'm like, am I being too harsh? He wasn't there, but quotes a person who was. So it's a conspiracy. Yeah, everyone was out to get Mackenzie Shirilla that morning at 5:36 a.m. Everyone knew it. Everyone's plotting against her. Everyone. Even the Politico building people. I don't think they were there. They were like, we're not going into work early today. We're participating in this corruption and setting up of her for this crime.
Guessing. You're making a guess. You watched CSI last night and you're making a call off of watching CSI a couple episodes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't tried to blame like the county, like who pours the cement and makes the roads? Like what is that company called? You guys will know who I'm talking about. Like that company. Like I'm surprised he's not blaming the county for the road that Mackenzie drove on. It had a little bump or a little pothole, or is that what it's called, or whatever. I'm surprised. Is it coming up?
This guy's a danger. He's a dangerous. This is a dangerous detective out of Strongsville. He's dangerous. Anybody, you get pulled over now in Strongsville speeding, it's attempted murder. That's the precedent they've set with this case.
How long do you think she'll be in jail?
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you preparing for a long haul? Are you very hopeful?
I'm hopeful somebody with some common sense and can look at everything. I mean, not the minutia, not the screaming people online, but look at the evidence. This, A, B, C, D, whatever, and look and subjectively look at what was presented, and look and say, look, okay, you got some black box information. The car was going fast. You can't explain the car. You can't explain the speed. The video clearly shows the brakes going on, no matter what the expert says. It's funny that it broke there and it didn't break there, or there. So if that's a safety feature for a car, I've been 100 in a car. I don't remember my car braking for me when I was going over 100.
Steve just said he's driven 100 miles per hour before. So him and Kenzie are like twinsies. I'm screaming, a person online, I hate you, make people dumber when you speak. Yeah. No, I'm swearing at my phone right now. I know, I am too. He needs to not do these interviews and he just keeps on running his mouth about it.
Car was going fast. You can't explain the car. You can't explain the speed. The video clearly shows the brakes going on, no matter what the expert says. It's funny that it broke there and it didn't break there, or there. So if that's a safety feature for a car, I've been 100 in a car. I don't remember my car braking for me when I was going over 100. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is. So I don't get it. And she didn't drive directly into that building. She drove mind you, it's apples to oranges here. She hit that sign first, and that sign veered her into that building. What would happen if she kept going?
Okay, wait. So now it's the sign. Now it's a sign. The slipper, everybody else, the airbags, the Toyota had a default problem with their car, whatever, mechanical issue. Now it's the sign. The sign veered her into the building. I thought the sign would have maybe helped and slow her down. No?
I don't get it. And she didn't drive directly into that building. She drove mind you, it's apples to oranges here. She hit that sign first, and that sign veered her into that building. What would happen if she kept going straight? I don't know. They'd be all dead. I don't. Who
Yeah,
knows? I don't know. I know my daughter didn't do it on purpose. I know when my daughter lies. That was part of the documentary too. I gave a story where something happened at the school and blah blah blah. But I know when my daughter lies. It's my daughter. There's a twinkle in her eye. There's something I can tell when she's not being honest with me. She doesn't look at me. It's not it's my daughter.
Now he's like, I'm a body language analysis professional or whatever they call themselves. Like that one channel. Someone said, don't forget Sasquatch. Oh yeah. That's
And if that
so
makes me a
crazy.
bad parent,
Oh.
I'm not a bad parent.
Oh, first you're like bad parent, who cares? Now you're like, I'm not a bad parent.
There's a twinkle in her eye. There's something I can tell when she's not being honest with me. She doesn't look at me. It's not it's my daughter, and if that makes me a bad parent, I'm not a bad parent. I did my best.
It's not funny. The case is very sad and, but he's like, I don't care if people call me a bad parent. And then he's like, but I'm not a bad parent.
I try to teach them rather than punish them. This world's crazy, and
yeah, it is, Steve.
There's a twinkle in her eye. There's something I can tell when she's not being honest with me. She doesn't look at me. It's not it's my daughter, and if that makes me a bad parent, I'm not a bad parent. I did my best with my daughters. I try to teach them rather than punish them. This world's crazy, and there's some crazy stuff that goes on. There's some crazy people in this world. So I was doing my best to teach her, and I picked my battles that I felt happened. How was I ever going to stop her from smoking marijuana? My daughter.
I'm not no one to judge him as a parent, and I'm not. I'm just saying, Steve, I don't think you did a whole lot of parenting. You were more like a friend.
My daughter should have been charged with vehicular homicide, 2 counts in juvie court, and it should have never left. The juvenile judge took out the aggravated murder thing for the same reason I'm saying they should have never charged her because there's no intent, there's no prior calculation, there's no purpose. It's not there. And again, Tim Troop can get up there and and dum dum dum, Tim Troop, she did this and I feel this. It's not evidence. He can feel all he wants. It's not evidence. And I think he did it's a complete injustice to my daughter, and this has nothing to do with the boys. It's again tragic that those boys died, and she has some responsibility into it. But what that is, nobody is ever going to know, and because nobody was in that car, and there's no evidence, and there's no story, there's no paper, there's no note, there's no video. My daughter and the remorse, that's another thing that's huge. I sat with my daughter for 3 months in that room right there, 3 months, watching her watch every video, every song, every picture about that boy. There was a shrine to him in that room. Shrine. Cried herself to sleep every night. I know the trolls are going, good, she should cry herself to sleep. She has remorse. Yeah. She was upset. If you would have heard her when she found out that Dom died, if you would have heard the sound that came out of her, it would have crushed you. She was 17. She's a dumb kid. She wasn't breaking up. She didn't do it on purpose. And I've asked her,
So she was a dumb kid, but mature enough to move in at 17? That's fine that she was upset. I guess people grieve differently. I guess I'm open to that, really. She was drowning herself in going out to Halloween parties and smoking blunts and wearing little bikini tops that Natalie made herself.
Did you do this on purpose? And she's going, no. And I would think if my daughter was that mad at that boy to want to kill him that way, Davion would have never been in the car.
Right.
That makes no sense. If she was going to do that to Dom. There were guns all over that kid's house. Okay.
Where'd the guns come from?
Wow.
He bought them. I don't know. I don't know. The reason I know he has guns because something was going on over there, and he took all the guns and threw them in my daughter's trunk. And I went into my daughter's trunk to get something, and in the trunk there was 10, 15 guns. Half of them were.
Okay, we did cover this in the text messages. We'll probably get to that again in the text messages. Again, Steve, if you knew, you knew. If you knew, you knew. Okay. You saw them, you kept allowing it. Yeah, you can't tie her up. I'm sure if you wanted to go to the police or do something about it, you could have. You damn sure could have. So I don't want to hear it.
15 guns. Half of them were loaded.
Wow.
Going to do that to Dom. There were guns all over that kid's house. Okay.
Where'd the guns come from?
He bought them. I don't know. I don't know. The reason I know he has guns because something was going on over there, and he took all the guns and threw them in my daughter's trunk. And I went into my daughter's trunk to get something, and in the trunk there was 10, 15 guns. Half of them were loaded. I had to.
Oh my God.
So that's how I know he has guns. If she was going to do.
Baby girl says he couldn't, Melly, ... Dom would say, well, he's my customer. Oh, burn. Do they still say that? Burn from, oh man, I lost it now. It was baby girl. He's allowed to have them. Dude. He knew they were there and still allowed them to date for 4 years.
If she was going to kill him, I would.
Yeah,
that would make more sense to me. But
and you don't involve an innocent.
Mm-hmm. So that makes no sense there. Something happened in that car. No one's ever going to know. She's innocent of the charges they put upon her. Again, should have been juvenile, vehicular homicide, 2 counts, and we would have went from there. She probably have done some jail time.
Right. Probably be out by now.
Be out by now, or have been whatever.
How do you keep in contact her?
We can see her twice a month. We visit. It's about a 3 or 3.5 hour visit. But again, it's only twice. My wife is able to talk to her pretty much every day. Again, sorry to the people out there. It's our daughter. I love my daughter. I'm never going to stop fighting for her.
Yeah.
I believe she was falsely charged. Well, no one's ever going to be able to convince me unless you can put the evidence in front of me.
Would you ever do another
documentary? You're probably close to. I'm going to get to being a documentary. I'm upset. I'm very disappointed in what they put out there.
Did you say anything?
Yes, we talked to them last week, and I blew my lid on them. You know, yeah. They did us dirty. I don't think they were very honest with us. I think they tried.
What did they say in defense?
Well, they were saying, we were trying to be, unbiased and give both sides, and I don't really think they gave my daughters a fair shake at both sides. I think they sensationalized, especially with the comment about talking about my daughter, knowing my daughter's lying thing. Yeah, it had nothing to do with why she's in jail. So.
Are you looking for a job?
I don't know if I have a job yet. I'm guessing that I'm not going to. My contract's up in June, so I would hope that they'll pay me through June. They're doing some sort of investigation. I don't know how much more investigating they have to do. I know
Is this a direct result of the documentary?
I believe it's a documentary. Yes, I believe it's from it. Clearly, a bunch of crazies from Parma calling into the diocese is more factual to them than talking to me. This could have been over in a conversation. Did you say it? I'm like, you heard me say it. Well, what did you mean by that? I go, we were talking. I didn't care. I don't care I don't care. It's none of my business what anybody does. I didn't care that my daughter smoked marijuana. I'm sorry. Right. That has nothing to do with my judgment. That has nothing
also, marijuana is now legal.
And it has nothing to do with my art teaching. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with my kids. I don't walk into my room and go, okay, today we're going to paint a painting and you should all do marijuana. I'm not doing that. That's got to be the biggest knee-jerk overreaction that you could ever imagine. I don't know why the school's not backing me up. That's
Because you let Kenzie smoke and then run off and do whatever the hell she wanted with Dom and run whatever hell over there. And you just didn't care about it.
me. That's not very Catholic. Where's the compassion, the love, the understanding that they put out to everybody. They want you to be that way, but when it comes to them, what if I was a priest?
Yeah.
If I was a priest, I'd be in another. They'd move me to another.
So you could
continue on. Okay, so mind you, I'm sorry the diocese acted that way. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing. It's disappointing how the documentary handled this. I think they gave the families a preview.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't offer us, which shouts loud now that they didn't want us to see it.
That would have been
because my understanding is that the Russos didn't like a part, so they had them take it out. So they had some control of the editing, which to me is it's unfortunate. This whole thing is unfortunate, and I believe my daughter has no idea what happened. She was so beat up. She had bruises all over her face. Those airbags going off. I don't know if you've ever seen an airbag deployment online. I watched a guy with a helmet get knocked out. Yeah. It hit him so hard, it knocked him out, and that could have ended why the arteries were, So I don't know. I love my daughter, and I'm never going to stop. And I will go to my deathbed, knowing she did not do what the prosecution and this possibly incompetent on the take judge did to her.
All right,
How much in denial is Steven? I'm shook by that interview. I'll have to probably rewatch it and make sure that my brain can process what I just seen. Wow. Steve, if you weren't okay with something in the documentary, I'm sure if you did something about it, they would have heard you out too. He basically went on this interview and just basically blamed everyone again. I don't think we heard him say not one time, my daughter's very sorry for what she did. Or I know that she was toxic and she's a teenager. He's just like, and then he's like, oh, Dom's a drug dealer, but we love him. He's part of the family. Oh, I saw them with guns early on in the relationship, but I still allowed it. So which is it? Not impressed. I am not impressed, Steve-O. Both of these parents are so freaking delusional when it comes to their daughter. They are no parents. They never parented her. They wanted to be her friend. Well, look where it got him, says Scout. I feel bad that the Russo family has to see this crap. Yeah. No accountability anywhere. Yeah. And he didn't learn from losing his job the first time. She was conscious inside the car, not in a come over for days. Absolutely. Absolutely. I truly believe Kenzie was conscious. Maybe she blacked out for a second when the impact happened, but she was in that car. She was in that car with those guys who had just passed. Evil. You let your child run amok. Yeah. Maybe it's true. Maybe he didn't know everything that was going on. Well, that still falls on you, being a parent. He didn't know that how many threats she was making to Dom and how bad they were fighting. Then I guess you didn't really know everything that you knew, so you shouldn't be talking. We seem to know more, according to you, Steve. But then you go on here and say that us podcasters are stirring the pot and making things up. No, we're not. We're going based off of the police reports and what's out there in the jail calls, that no one held a gun to your daughter's head or Natalie's, and they went on there and said what they wanted to say. Like, no one forced them, is what I'm getting at. She can't remember anything, but she remembered who was in the car, gave her address and everything. And then she was talking that Carney talk in the hospital too, which I think she probably got consciousness by then. But listen, I heard that that's like their own little talk too. I heard it's like Carney talk and gibberish, but I heard that they're doing something differently and made it their own. So we'll probably talk about this. You've been amazing, Millie. Super fair and shared facts. Thank you. Prefer the truth. I try. A book of Dom's neck was snapped. Davion's aorta torn. They were torn and they are not here to feel broke. Yeah, exactly. Teens tell their parents what they want their parents to hear, not necessarily the truth. That is true. Inmate said she talked different in the interview. I heard part of the appeals, the texts were after Dom had already called for help. Yeah, they're gonna try to do the text. They're gonna try to do like, I don't know if representation and then her pot sing. I think they're trying on an appeal. She gave her address and her name. She was fine. Yeah. Dom's not here to defend himself. Do you think there are folks sending them money? Yeah, I do. I think there's folks sending Kenzie money too. Kenzie's personality speaks volumes. Exactly. Thank you, Loyal Fedora. Glad you're here. Wow. If I thought that TMZ thing was something, this interview. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. No new trial granted. I don't think so either. I really don't think so. And I don't know how that works. Like, is it an appeal judge? Like, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a girl that loves true crime. But does like a lawyer, is it a different judge? I mean, you're up here talking shit about Judge Russo. Let's hope she's not involved in anything. And now you're talking about the detective and the prosecutor, and now no one's just going to want to be nice and help you out or anything at all. Maybe some of them didn't want to from the get-go, but now you're definitely not getting any respect, Steve. They must feel really threatened and defeated to go online like this. Yeah, it goes to that was True Crime Weekly. It goes to the appellate courts and then they review and decide, but they won't grant. Can Kenzie get more new time in a new trial? I think she can get, I don't know, because I thought she basically got 15 to life with possibility of parole. So if she doesn't get parole, which I guess that would be in 2037. I don't think it's going to work out to her. Her daily appeal is going to Ohio Supreme Court. Is it? Well, that is where it should be then, right? But on what grounds? Yeah, I don't know. If it is going to the Supreme Court, that's the highest it can go, yeah? Yeah. If it is, well then, fair. If they decide that she deserves it and there was an error, some corruption or something, then so be it. It is what it is. If they shut her down, I don't want to hear it from Steve again. Stay off the internet. If she would get a new trial, they wouldn't have to give her the original sentence. Oh, when was this interview? Like yesterday. Basically concurrent or not. Interesting. I read they turned it down and the Ohio Supreme Court turned it down already? I thought it just I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, it is. Mackenzie Shirilla takes last ditch. This is from People magazine. Mackenzie Shirilla takes last ditch fight to Ohio Supreme Court after appeal deadline was missed for a bizarre reason. Mackenzie has lost every appeal of her conviction. She's asking the higher court to review her case after her appeal was rejected for being filed 1 day late, a delay that they argue stemmed from a leap year miscalculation. Her petition for post-conviction relief was filed on April 27, 2026. They filed her petition on October 24th, 2024. Because 2024 was a leap year, Shirla's petition was late by 1 day. The justices disagreed, saying Ohio law is clear that PCR petitions must be filed the 365 days after the trial transcript is filed in court. Oh, they did like a statement. Let me see if I can pull it up. Prosecutor O'Malley believes without question that Mackenzie Shirilla is guilty of murder. We are confident that any courtroom that reviews the case will come to the same conclusion. That was Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. Ooh. Mm-mm. Don't blame it on the leap year, dude. Could you have come up with something better? 18 hours ago, the Supreme Court has not yet decided whether it will hear Shirilla's appeal. Her first parole hearing is scheduled for 2037. Oh, wait. Then another one from 40 minutes ago. Oh, I thought it said it was denied already. No, it says it's still pending. They remain confident in Shirla's conviction. The Supreme Court has not yet decided whether it will hear her parole. Wow. I don't think they're gonna take it. Oh, it was filed late because of leap year. Delulu. Good luck. I guess we'll keep our eyes on that. Nobody waits till the last second. I don't know what attorney, honestly. I don't know what the hell they did with her case. Like, if you're a lawyer to the very last minute, that's awful. I wouldn't have hired them. I hope it's not the same lawyer on her case, but I think it is. I think she just hired an additional one. Math is hard in leap years, is it? Christine has to stop being so respectful to the Shirillas. Steve, your monster is a prostitute times murder times 2. It would be sweet if she gets a new trial and ends up getting a worse sentence. Everyone takes their stuff to the Supreme Court. When it's denied at lower level, doesn't mean anything, though. How much is the state wasting on this BS? Good question. Incompetent lawyers. The mistake of them going with the bench trial is that there was Sarah Boone turning down the deal. Yeah. The prosecutor offered her. I agree. But that gets you there to the appeal 5th District Court at first, I thought. We'll see. We'll keep track on that. Shout out to you guys for watching this interview with me and reacting to it. Shout out to the replay viewers. We have another live here shortly. We're going to do April 2021 of the text messages. So if you're following along, don't miss it. It gets good in there. Do you think Steve and Natalie are plain stupid, or they're being provocative on purpose so we talk about them? I don't get it. She's filing on a IAOC due to the new appellate court. They dropped the ball, so she's allowed to do it again to get it in on time. I read it was denied. Strange. You could be right, Sandra. Maybe I just haven't seen it yet. Leap year gives you an extra. Oh yeah, don't even ask me about the leap year. It's 365 days, not like April 27th to April 27th. Right, expert. This is how you read a calendar. The audacity of putting the boys' families through all of this over again. It will pend for 9 to 12 months, then all of a sudden get denied. Oh, really? That long? Dang. Most do wait till last second, but they really blew that. Yeah, that's really late. That's messed up. If that was my attorney, I'd be pissed. All attorneys wait till the last minute. Oh, okay. I guess my attorneys haven't. Usually we're talking about like being done a couple days before, but hey, to each their own. Everyone's different. Back to replay text messages. I am only at November of 2020. Oh yeah, we're April of 2020 right now. 2021, sorry. The Supreme Court declined to hear on appeal on April 30th. Yeah, I thought they redid it again though. I can't believe what he's saying about Dom. I know. I know. Thank you guys for being here. Please make sure you tap the like button. Thank you for being so compassionate for the victims and their family. Thank you. I really appreciate that comment because I really try, but not with Steve. Steve, stay off the internet, please. Get a PR person, a fake one, even. I don't know. Something. I will see you guys in a little bit at the next text message reading. Please, please, please make sure you guys tap the like button. Thank you to everyone who gifted memberships. It was Expert becoming a member, Karen, Shelby, Loyal, Tabitha, Chucks, and Casey K. I appreciate all of you guys. And then shout out to Karen as well for the Cash App. I really, really appreciate that. Helps keep everything going. I will see you guys shortly on April for the text messages, April 2021, between Mackenzie and Dominic. Please make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to the mods for being here and everyone in the live chat. I'll see you guys shortly for the next live. Bye.